Hello, this is Average Talk coming at you with another video of what I have watched this week. Now, what I've watched this week, I watched like Venom 2. I watched this episode of What If. And they say this episode of What If, pretty alright. My favorite episode is still Zombies, but Venom 2 is swanking. It's swanky. It's really good. I'd go watch that, definitely. Especially when Carnage is introduced, it just goes full 100 right there. But the whole movie was just pretty awesome. That's Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is amazing, and I haven't seen a bad thing that he's done. So I highly recommend Venom 2. But that's not the main topic of what I have today. This is my phone where I'm reading the notes from, just so you all know. But that's not the main. Those aren't the main focus. That's not the main focus today. The main focus of today is The Boys Season 1 on Amazon Prime. It is awesome. I'll say I've watched this before. I watched the first season. It was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. It's about just regular people versing superheroes, people with powers. I like it. Like I said, it's on Amazon Prime. I suggest you watch it. And before I get into the story, before I get into the spoiler zone here, I want to talk about the characters that are in here. So, I'm not really trying to spoil anything right now. You got Huey Campbell, played by Jack Quaid, who voices Richie Rich from Harvey Girls Forever, and plays Marvel from the Hunger Games series. Got Billy Butcher, who's played by Carl Urban. He plays Bones from oh my god, I can't speak right now. He plays Bones from the new Star Trek movies, and plays Judge Dredd from the latest Dredd movie, which honestly is my favorite Dredd movie. And you got Homelander, who's played by Anthony Starr. Honestly, I checked his IMDb 2 nights ago. I haven't seen much of anything he's in, but he is in Scene of the Warrior Princess. So, you got Starlight / Sandy January, who is played by Aaron Moriarty. I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, but Moriarty. He plays Hope Shopman and Jessica Jones, which is a good show. Don't get rid of that, Disney. Don't get rid of Jessica Jones. And she plays Audrey Hart in True Detective. You got Queen Maeve, who is played by Dominique McElligott. And I'm horrible with pronouncing names. But she plays Hannah Conway in House of Cards. You got A-Train, who is played by Jesse T. Usher. Plays DJ Shaft in the new Shaft movie. And Dylan Hiller in Independence Day Resurgence. You got Mother's Milk, played by Laz Alonso, who plays Tsute in Avatar. Got The Deep, played by Tish Crawford, who plays Nate Archibald in Gossip Girl. Frenchie, played by Tamar Capone, plays Modi Moore in 101. Aviv Danino on When Heroes Fly. Kimiko Miyashiro, played by Karen Fukuhara, plays Glimmer in She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Got Black Noir, played by Nathan Mitchell, who plays the singing mercenary in iZombie. You got Madeline Stillwell, played by Elizabeth Shue. Now, I did not know this. She was a famous actor in the 80s. I did not know this because she plays Ally Mills not only in Cobra Kai, but the original Karate Kid, and Jennifer, which I believe is the girlfriend in Back to the Future 2 and 3. You got Hugh Campbell, played by Simon Pegg. Of course, it's Shaun from the Shaun of the Dead. He plays in most of Edgar Wright's Cornello's trilogy. Scott in the new Star Trek movies. Montgomery Scotty Scott. And Benji Dunn in the new Mission Impossible movies. And you got Mesmer, played by Haley Joel Osment. Golseer in The Sixth Sense. Trevor McKinney in Pay It Forward, one of my favorite movies, and David in AI, Artificial Intelligence. So that's most of the characters, most of them anyway. There's still a lot more, but I ain't going into a lot more right now. So if you want to point out more in the comments below, I would recommend you do so, definitely. And before you go, because I'm going to go into this story here for a bit. If you haven't seen this, I'd go watch season 1. But before you go, like this video and subscribe to this channel. And go watch season 1 of The Boys on Amazon Prime. And come back and watch the rest of this so you don't get spoiled or anything like that. I'd highly recommend that. But, okay. But before you do that, like I said, comment on any actors that I missed, any projects that the actor's done that I missed. Because I know I missed. And I know. But now, on to the spoiler section, spoiler zone below. Onto the story. And so, you got episode 1, which is called The Name of the Game. The story starts with a guy named Hugh Campbell and his girlfriend Robin. They're just walking around talking about life, and suddenly she disappears in a cloud of blood. In 1 second, she's half a step off the curb, then she's gone. Turns out that this is due to a superpowered speedster named A-Train, who stops for a second, starts freaking out a bit, and continues running. Meanwhile, Huey is still holding her disembodied hands. Huey's offered $45,000 to stay silent about this, as A-Train is part of this company called Vault. Vault has a special superhero group called the Seven, which has Homelander, Queen Maeve, A-Train, The Deep, Translucent, Black Noir, and A-Train. Lamplighter is retiring, so that position is open for anyone. And the spot eventually goes to Annie January, or Starlight, who is immediately sexually abused by the Deep. Huey wants to think about the check and starts walking around. He runs into Billy Butcher, who gives him an opportunity to join him and get revenge on A-Train. He originally says no, but then he thinks about it, and then he just says yes. Billy Butcher wants Huey to plant the bug in Vault so they can easily keep track of superhero soups. And so he goes. While he is going, Starlight is throwing up in the bathroom. Queen Maeve tells her to suck it up. Tells Translucent to stop being a perv because he's in the woman's bathroom, completely naked. He doesn't turn invisible, because the covered skin that he has bends the light around him, so it makes him appear invisible. Huey gets there, he sits down on a bench and hits it off with the stressed out Starlight. He wants to quit Vought. Huey tells her just because you fall on your ass doesn't mean you have to stay there. Excellent advice. They quit talking and go their separate ways. Huey plants the bug inside a Vought and doesn't know it's translucent, who follows him out of there and near everywhere he goes. Goes home, accepts the money, on the condition that A-Train apologizes to him in person, so to get A-Train, we just get him. Of course, it sounds scripted, and Huey gets mad and goes up to work. Translucent is still following him, and starts to beating him up. Billy Butcher then drives the car to the window and hits Translucent. Translucent is a tough cookie, though, and it doesn't go down easily until Huey pops a cord up his butt and shocks him, because carbon conducts electricity. Translucent gets shoved in the trunk, and while this is going down, Homelander lasers down a plane. Now episode 2, improper preparation and planning. And it starts off Huey and Billy Butcher drive a car to a hideout where a member of the police is, and that police Frenchie. And then try to figure out how to get rid of Translucent without sending off any of the other supes, because he is chipped. If he dies, the supes know where to find him, especially Homelander. That is not good business. While they're thinking, you get Paul running around doing things like going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is one kid with cancer. I wish these chances before they die. Unfortunately, Translucent is kind of missing at the moment, so get A-Train instead. The child is disappointed because Translucent was their favorite. And A-Train's just like, man, I'm the fastest running man alive. I'll train you how to be fast too. And the kid just looks at him and he's like, can you teach me how to outrun cancer? The boys have figured out how to kill Translucent because his carbon skin is impenetrable. So they create a carbon bullet to shoot him to break the skin. But it just bounces around the cage. Starlight defends a girl from being sexually abused. The boys get the idea to stick a bomb up Translucent's ass. Ass bomb. The skin is impenetrable, but his ass is not. So they stick it in, but he gets out and is running towards Homelander, who just arrived, and his ass explodes. Homelander has been making some moves, however, on his own end. He shot down a plane last episode, but it turns out the plane held the mayor of Baltimore, who haggled on the price on one of their superheroes to protect their city. So now we go to episode 3, which gets some. Now Translucent is dead. Now what? Well, first they gotta hide the body. So they blow up the hideout and dump his body in the river in a chest full of carbon, so Homelander can't easily see him. The boys also meet Mother's Milk, who is the soldier of the group. A-Train is now racing this one guy to be the fastest man in the world, and if he loses, he's out of the 7, or the 6 now. He might be back on the Compound V. For the race, the boys sneak out to Pop Claus, A-Train's girlfriend, place. They go in disguise as internet fixers, and they just end up installing cameras everywhere. They do that to try hearing solid proof that she is supplying A-Train with the Compound V. Now Starlight, as his problems fought recently, She stopped someone from getting raped last episode and sees me getting nothing but shit for it. She also has an uncomfortable suit change where her suit is tighter and firmer, definitely more sexually appealing. Doesn't like it at all. She's like, Vought wants you to look like a hero, not be a hero. Now, A-Train wins the race. Popclaw doesn't really care. Well, she cares. She motes to it and whatever. But they just had fought because A-Train is iffy with asking Madeline Stillwell to head of all if Day has a couple can become public. So instead of that, she takes compound fee. So she has no money. A homeowner comes by to remind her that rent is overdue, and she decides to pay with sex. She gets on top of him, his head between her thighs. She squishes it like a watermelon. And the boys have it on camera. They release Devar in the whole public world, whatever. And last, he tells him about compound V, which is the steroid for suits, basically. So now we go to episode 4, the female of the species. You got the suits want to get in the military, but the boys do not want that. The boys, the government, whatever. Fortunately, they do have time, because it's down to a vote, but they're losing. So they go to the government, they go to Madam Deputy Director Susan. They only have video information about compound fee from Popclaw, no hard evidence. Government ain't going against Rob because they are afraid of Homelander. They ain't going without hard evidence. So the boys need hard proof. Well, Popclaw told them that she gets a V from a noodle shop basement, so that's where they go. It's actually produced there. Not only that, but they are pumping a mysterious Asian girl down there. She's a slave or a refugee, but she's not talking at all. She gets out and she goes on a random murder spree, but not killing the boys, but everyone else. Meanwhile, there's a fight that gets hijacked by this terrorist group called the Shining Light Liberation Group. Homelander and Queen Maeve save the day. However, Homelander lasers one of the guys, and as they just keep going, they destroyed the controls. And without the controls, they can't fly the plane. So they do this on purpose. Did he? But the plane's unflyable. Queen Maeve tries to help the rest of the crew, but she can't do anything. She's kind of helpless. She escapes as Homelander. Now, would that have happened if the Supes were in the military? Now, this is happening. Huey's on a date with Starlight where he has to bug her phone to get more dirty details on Vought. He struggles with it because of her feelings for her, but then he hallucinates Robin looking down on him, so he doesn't. The Deep steals Dolphin from Ocean World, tries to escape with her, but unfortunately can't really strap the Dolphin in. When he's forced to stop, the Dolphin flies to the windshield of the truck onto the road, gets run over by another truck. Gets back to Frenchie while there's milk and the mystery girl, and finds some goons. The mysterious girl gets out and is kicking ass. She eventually gets knocked out. Frenchie goes to get her and tells him to get down here. Responds, "What if she's a Spice Girl?" In reference to a story that Billy Butcher told him earlier. He's immediately gasped, but he's saved. Now we go episode 5, Good for the Soul. In the last episode, A-Train tells Popclaw that she has to move to stay low, so she moves to Havana, Cuba. A-Train convinces her to come clean about what she told them about Compound C. She She tells him everything that she told them, like the Northside basement and everything. In response to this, he runs really fast, sticks a bunch of heroin needles in her arms, makes her overdose. Meanwhile, in the States, there's this religious expo going on called the Believe Expo that this Ezekiel guy is hosting. Billy Butcher, Frenchie, Mother's Milk, and Huey are looking at the security. The security is tight. Tighter than a choir boy's asshole. The only way someone can get close to Ezekiel is with the Diamond Club Pass, which is $15,000. It basically allows backstage access to the expo. And maybe Huey can get in with Starlight. Now Starlight is starting to hate it there. They're being way too judgy for her taste. They're homophobic, same-sex for marriage, judgmental. So much so that she's surprised when Huey asks for a Diamond Club Pass. But she gets him one. Now really, Huey's trying to get more information on Ezekiel, who runs a charity called Samaritan's Embrace. He sends compound feed to children's hospitals all over the states, disguised as polio vaccines. So he goes through with the tour. At the end, after rebaptizing, Huey accuses him of having sex with him. This is the greatest line of all time, which is, "You played my butt like jazz." Huey gets the info. It turns out that soups aren't porn, they're made. Starlight is just tired of everything. Her mother is making everything about her. Faith is not as inclusive as she thought it was. And Faith's not as exclusive as she thought it was. Everything is just garbage. If their Homelander delivers a speech on how she should be in the military to beat those ethnic terrorists, Starlight just kind of shits on religion. And questioning what is real anymore. Fancy and Mysterious Girl are still on the run. A-Train catches up with them. Mysterious Girl protects Frenchie against a hard hit that would have killed him. In fact, she is believed to be dead for a few seconds. Turns out that she has an incredible healing factor, and she survives. Alright. Now we're on to episode 6, which is called The Innocents. Billy Butcher turns in solid proof to Wayner. Now he got some compound feed from the door shop basement, and she can get him all the demands that he has listed, except for a meeting with Homelander. The only thing he really wanted. Billy just wants Homelander's hit on Spike, and he wants to do it himself. Starlight is just walking around Vault, and she hears that Ashley is getting fired. Why? She was the one that said that Starlight should speak at the Believing Expo. So Starlight, you should just let us do our jobs. And when Starlight is on the elevator, she runs into Queen Maeve and tells her that she has looked up to her since her younger days in the superhero business, like in Teenage Kicks with Popclaw. She says how she regrets it now, because everything that Queen Maeve has said or stood for was flipped. It was probably written by the marketing team. Turns out that Deep was on sabbatical or on leave, maybe permanently from Vault. Sandusky, Ohio. He hates it there. It's so boring. So boring. He gets like $75 a day to just go grocery shopping and stuff. It's boring. He just wants to do something else. Management makes a deal with the boys. He reads the Mysterious Girl's mind. He can see his daughter once a month for an hour supervised. And that's what he really wants. He and tries to read her mind once. She goes violent and breaks his wrist. Doesn't want to do it anymore, but the gang makes him do it. Now there's just Mother's Milk, Frenchie, and Huey. And he decides to read her mind one more time because of this. And he is able to make something out. The Shining Light Liberation Army of the group of terrorists actually killed her parents and kidnapped her and her brother. After he gets that information, he's allowed to leave. And he also says one more thing too. He says he's able to make out her name, which is Kimiko. And Billy says to the rest of the boys that they're going to have to take down and fight themselves. Because Rander couldn't get them Homelander, he didn't agree to any of the stuff then. Then takes Huey on a walk and tells him that he's got to break it off with Starlight because he has a relationship with Starlight. She's a soup and they're all the same. And he's like, what's he gonna do when she realizes that you murdered Translucent? Mesmer betrays them. His daughter doesn't really know him or care for him, so he doesn't really want anything to do with her. He just wants them to 7. Figures that he gives Homelander pictures of the 4 guys, Billy Butcher, Fancy Mother's Milk, and Huey Campbell. And Homelander will put in a good word for Mesmer. For fought. I fought. And then we go to the next episode, episode 7, The Self-Preservation Society. Starts out 8 years ago. SWAT gala back for the boys. Just Billy Butch being the best he can be. He's with this girl named Pekka, who is still in the picture. Homelander actually talks to them for a minute. And he says that he likes how Pekka's taking care of Vaught's Twitter account and would like to run some ideas by her later. Maybe taking over Homelander's social activity, whatever. But then, we travel back to the present and a scene where Huey and Starlight are doing it. What are they doing? They're doing like Rubik's Cubes like under their seats or something. I don't know, honestly. Then we cut to the Deep, who's still depressed about being out of the 7 and being in Dusky, Ohio. I mean, like I said, he's getting $75. They do some grocery shopping. He runs into some lobsters that are in a cage or whatever, basically. And they end up getting smashed by a hammer. He tries to save one, gets smashed by a hammer. And you see that he's writing a book called Deeper Memoir. Now, Homelander calls a meeting for the 7, or the 5 now. And he starts chastising them. Since they're all traitors. For Black Noir, of course. And starts showing them pictures of the boys. Saying that they're the enemies that took out Translucent. Like Billy Butcher, Huey Campbell, Frenchie, Mother's Milk. Starlight is surprised that Huey would do such a thing. And Homelander's all like, you can't trust her, she slept with him. And all that. And Queen Wave kind of stands out for her, saying she didn't know that he would do this. She did a stupid thing, don't blame her. Billy Butcher's giving Huey the same kind of argument before he walks out. He says to him, right, so better to be loyal to a dead woman who doesn't know and doesn't care. Turns out that while they were arguing, A-Train got a hold of Huey's dad and is holding him hostage until Huey shows up and talks to them. Huey negotiates the compound fee. And Huey gets worse because A-Train learns that he isn't lying. Entering then threatens Huey, saying that he was stupid for coming alone, but he didn't come alone because Kimiko jumps out and breaks A-Train's legs. Homelander goes to a person named Dr. Vogelbaum, who experimented on Homelander, or John, in his youth. Worked the thought too. In fact, Homelander asked him some questions about Becca. Answers that will be revealed in the last episode. Boys find out that Mesmer burned him because who else would it be? They track Mesmer to the subway station, trap him in the subway station bathroom. Billy finds him, and before he starts bubbling him, Mesmer offers to help him find Becca. He answers by banging his head on the bathroom sink a few times. Rainer is keeping the boys' family safe. At this whole time, there's been soup terrorists coming to America. The soup name is Nakip, or Captain, and he's Kimiko's brother. Starlight and Huey have a hard conversation at the park bench where they met, where Huey tries to explain everything to her and beg for forgiveness and beg for her help bringing down the plot. Before she can say anything, Billy sues her because he doesn't trust her. He can't trust the soup. And Huey runs away. In the last episode of Season 1, Episode 8, You Found Me, Homelander goes to Tel Rifat, Syria, and helps out the military in secret and on purpose to kind of gain government's trust and whatnot. Suzanne Raynor gives the boys the advice to just cut bait and run. Turns out the Deep is not leaving Ohio to train dolphins to fight the wars. He's staying the savior of Sandusky. There's Wiccan where the boys are at, and Kimiko, Frenchie, and Mother's Milk get taken. Billy Butch and Henry Campbell are off somewhere else, and in fact, they hear news of this. Billy wants to continue the mission, while Huey wants to go save him. Because of this, they depart. A-Train is using compound V again, and is literally pulling a train. A-Train is pulling a train. He shouldn't even be doing this with his broken legs not being healed, no. It's just adding more stress. Madeline Stillwell gets promoted and Mr. Edgar tells her, start thinking about the view from Exit 2. Madeline still assures Homelander that she will have time for him in their special relationship. Huey gets captured, saving Mother's Milk and Frenchie on purpose. He's a lockpick in his trainer, and they're struggling to get out. Struggling until Mother's Milk just punches him in the face. That works. They get out. They don't forget Kimiko. They save her, now without Frenchie getting shot. And Huey has survived covering fire, but he's never shot a gun before. Amazing. So Mother's Milk gives him some advice, and Huey provides covering fire for Mother's Milk, screaming like Scarface. They're able to get away, but they're trapped in a garage. That is until Starlight comes to the rescue. They help Frenchie and Mother's Milk escape, but A-Train finds Huey and Starlight. He's fast and healed and on compound V. Blames Huey for Bob Claw's death. Suffers a heart attack. Huey tells Starlight to call an ambulance and runs away. Billy is at Madeline Stillwell's house. Why? Because Homelander is not invincible, not nigh indestructible, so he has no weakness. He's only human, and his only weakness. Billy can't hurt him, but he can hurt her. So he straps her to palms and waits. Homelander eventually does come, except he has Teddy, Madeline's baby, with him. In spite of constant pleas to take him upstairs, he doesn't. Finally, Madeline reveals that she's scared of Homelander and has every right to be. Mainly because he lays her right there and kills her. Billy's only intention was to hurt Homelander, but now that he has it taken away, Billy just blows the whole house up. Billy just randomly wakes up on someone's yard. Homelander saved him from the blast. Saved him because he wanted to show him something. Well, he wanted to show him Blake is alive and has Homelander's son in the series. And the spoiler zone. Now, I really loved it. I really loved the series. Season 2 stands out because it focuses on non-supers versus supers. It's great. It's great. And all the acting is great. I love Jack Quaid. I love all the other actors that I just forgot they're on here. But I just love all the acting and stuff. And my favorite quote that I laughed endlessly at, and I even laughed at a little while reading the script, was "You play my butt like jazz." I just love that line. That line was excellent. So what was your favorite part of the show? What was your favorite quote? Or anything you can answer in the comments down below, or you can tell me on any of my socials. My socials are Instagram at TRIPL3XXXMayhem. Twitter is at Real Average John. My Facebook is at Official Average John. Don't worry if you can't understand me. They're all in the comments below. No, please comment and answer the questions, or just comment. Now, anything that you watched recently that you like, that you want to give a shout out to, let me know down there. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Average John. Have a great night.